Okay. Yeah, today I will show you something or just give you an introduction in our chapter number 4, which deals about Platin group elements, and such Platin group elements you can then find in layered intrusion and at the ocean floor. Yep, and there I give you just today a small introduction about the Illimaussag intrusion, and the Illimaussag intrusion is in South Greenland, and that is the place where I did my master work. So I was 2 times in South Greenland. The first time was 2008, no, 1998, and I was there 1999. So now we are starting with this PowerPoint. So, figure number 1. So, here we have the continent constellation during Rodinia. Supercontinent Rodinia exists about 1,000 million years ago, and there the location of the different continents were totally different from that today. And you know by now that you know from ES301 actually that continents are moving, and during the Earth's history we had several supercontinents, and the supercontinent means if we have always the land mass together. So nowadays we have the situation that the land mass is distributed all over the whole planet. So and therefore the temperature on this planet is always higher. So, and that is the natural climate change, and the natural climate change is much more powerful than those which is now created from humans. So if the landmass is together, like here during the formation of supercontinent Rodinia, then it is much more colder, and it is very, very cold, yeah? It is not only a little bit more cold, it is very, very cold. And do you have an idea why this is? So where does the internal heat come from this planet? Yeah, I mean this planet is heated up from the planet itself. That means that is the internal heat, and then you have the external heat, and the external heat is the sun. So, and where is most of the internal heat produced? That is at the middle ocean ridges. So, I mean, there you have the biggest production on new oceanic crust. So, and if the whole landmass is together, then the middle ocean ridges are quiet. So, and that means the water level or the sea level goes then down. So whereas if the landmass is distributed on the whole planet, then the sea level rises automatically up. So if the landmass is together, like here at Rodinia, at supercontinent Rodinia, then you need later on that you are distributing all this former continents, you need the power from the middle ocean ridges, and then you have to form here a middle ocean ridge. So and then the continents are moving and drifting. Yeah, that is just plate tectonic. So and you know by now we had different supercontinents. I mean the first continental landmass, that was Walbara, and Walbara was a combination between parts of the Cabal in South Africa and then the Pilbara in Western Australia. Then later, and that was about 3,300 million years ago, something like this, and 2,800 million years ago, Walbara broke them in pieces. So then later on we had supercontinent Columbia, and that was about 2,500 million years ago. And Columbia was then much bigger than Valvara. I mean, Valvara, that was just a small landmass, whereas the main crustal growth, that was during Archean time, and therefore you had then 2,500 million years ago Columbia. So, and then Columbia was breaking off again, and then the continents were collided again, and then you had about 1,800 million years ago lunar land. So, and then 800 million years later, you had then here Rodinia. So, in Rodinia broke then off, that was about 730 million years ago, to form about 600 million years ago or 550 million years ago, supercontinent Gondwana. So, and here on this part we have already East Gondwana, but West Gondwana is still missing, and West Gondwana, that was then formed by the Congo Craton and by the Sahara Craton, which forms then Africa today. Later on, then 250 million years ago, we had Pangaea. So, in the situation, how it looks today on this planet, that is Pangaea. So, and if you are looking at this map, I mean, Greenland is there now, that was 1,000 billion years ago. Greenland was just flipped 90 degrees and is lying horizontal, and you know Greenland is vertical, and Greenland is today at the North Pole and not at the equator, yeah? So East Gondwana, this part of East Gondwana here, that forms Antarctica from today, and then you have pieces from Australia. So that means this one is now moving here, the Congo Craton is moving there. So they have all of them a huge journey behind, and that is Laurentia, and Laurentia, that is North America, or what we are calling North America today. Next slide. So now we are going there to South Greenland, and in South Greenland you have, or in Greenland itself, I mean, you have a lot of intrusions, and one of the most famous intrusions, that is the Ilimausag intrusion, and the Ilimausag intrusion is located here. There it is. Where is this? The Ilimausag intrusion is located here. Here is a small town. I mean, people in Greenland calling it Nausag. I'm calling it just a village because it has only 2,500 citizens, because the towns there are not that big. So, and the Ilimausag intrusion is so famous because you have all the minerals, everything what you like to find, or most of the things you can find there. It is very rich in this huge variety of different and also very exotic minerals. So, and then you have here another complex, that is the Gallico, then the Glocken, then the Buckland, and so on, yeah? You have there a lot of intrusions, and you can visit all these places only during summertime, because during winter time everything is covered with snow. So that is the reason why they are doing no mineral exploration in South Greenland. I mean, Greenland is actually now has its own government and everything, because it belonged before to Denmark. But all the mineral resources, they are still belonging to Denmark. So they have done some uranium exploration here in the Ilimausag intrusion, but the problem is you can then only explore 3 months per year, because the rest of the time everything is covered with ice. Next slide. So that is our map which I have drawn of the different rock types. So I was working there on the Luyarites. I'm sure that you have never heard about these rocks. Then we have Kagortokite. Yeah, these are just rocks which you can only find in this intrusion. Nauyarites, I will show you then some pictures. But you have also granites, cyanites, and orgite cyanites. And the granite, you know, we have it here just in the box. Yeah, you saw it now a couple of times. And you know what a cyanide is, and an alkali granite as well. So you have here then felsic rocks, yeah, because granites and cyanides are felsic rocks, and here you have foites, and that is because of foid minerals inside, and this luyarite, Kagortokite, nauyarite, and sodalite, and so on. These are silica undersaturated minerals or rocks, so and therefore you are spanning a wide chemical range of different occurrences of different minerals. So, and here you have a fjord, yeah, and when I was there I had such a boat, you know, you can see, we'll see it later on some pictures. So, because there you can only go by boat, yeah. So, next slide. So, and that is how it looks like in the field. I mean, in Greenland, you do not have too much vegetation, yeah. I mean, when the ice goes back during summertime, then you have this ice-free zone, and that is about 3 kilometers wide, of course. You have some vegetation because therefore Greenland is called Greenland. But it is very, very rocky, and these are all these magmatic intrusions or igneous intrusions, and here you can see this magmatic layering, and this magmatic layering, I will then just talk about the magmatic layering after the midterm break. So when we did the second part of the layered intrusion class. Next slide. So here we have some cross section, how it looks like. I mean, in the middle you have this very felsic acid magma. So, and then here on the rim you have a cyanitic magma, and here inside there you have this luyarite, and the luyarite is very silica undersaturated. So, and you have this other type, the aquaitic magmas, and the aquaitic magmas they can be described through the aquaitic index, and that is a calculation or a ratio between aluminium, sodium, and potassium inside these rocks. So now we know we have here, right? That is just a picture what we have constructed. You have a magma chamber in the depth. So and then you have different intrusivas. That means you have different phases. So when you have now at first the acid rocks, and then you have the more silica undersaturated rocks. So, and which of these different phases will rise up at first? The felsic, yeah. And that is why, yes, more silica, and what happens then to a felsic belt? The density is lower, and what happens to this belt? It will go to the top of the chamber. So, and therefore the felsic belt will first reach, yeah? So, and then the more silica undersaturated magmas, they will then rise up later, yeah? And this luyaritic magma, this very silica undersaturated magma, is a unmixing product from this other silica undersaturated magma, and you can then observe this in the cross section. Yeah, you have here that is just like a systematic cross section from the intrusion itself. You have here at the top, I mean in the outcrop now, you have here at the top this felsic rocks because they are rising up at first. Then you have here the cyanitic rocks. So and then you have here going down from Nauyarite over Luyarite then to the Kakortokite, and these rocks becoming more and more silica undersaturated. Yep, next slide. So and here there are two cross sections. Such things you can then also observe next week, but next week you will of course not see any Luyarites because they are only in South Greenland, and then they are in Murmansk, you know, in Russia, where they are at the ranking stage for the old submarines, for the nuclear power submarines. And then there is another location that is Mount St. Hilary in Canada. So, but these are just such cross sections, and what is interesting here, you have here the pegmatites everywhere, yeah? So, when we discussed before in the class, I mean, I did it just in the introduction, and then also when we were talking about the copper and gold ore deposits, they are found in pegmatite, and that is through the hydrothermal stages, yeah? The hydrothermal stage is also, I think, a question in the test. Was it? Yes. So, in these pegmatitic veins, they are of high economic importance. So, and here in South Greenland, they are looking there for another mineral or rock, because they did uranium exploration. They did not only uranium exploration, they did a lot of different things there, but mainly uranium, and there's still this uranium mine, but it is closed. And the reason is because they can only mine during summertime, yeah, and then it is not profitable for them, yeah. Then the picture to the right, there you have now another interesting thing, and that is also important for those of you who are doing this ES303. You have here the xenolites, which are breaking up and they are falling into the melt, yeah? They are falling into the melt, and then you have contamination, and you have assimilation, and then you are changing the chemistry of your rocks. So that we could observe in the southern part. So and these are some cross section, and that is the nice thing in this intrusion. Due to the fact that there is no vegetation, you can just walk over it, yeah? That is very practical, yeah? Because here you have always to cut across all the trees. So the next slide. No, that is a slide for next week. And now we are I will show you 20 pictures, and then we are done for today. Then you can prepare yourself for the field trip. And it's also hot. So then we are going to these pictures. So then we are starting just with maybe with this one, yeah. So that is now some pictures from there when I was in the field, and that is my most loved iceberg, yeah, because it has here this ball on the top. So they are swimming everywhere around, And if they are coming more to the south, then they are becoming molten. And the polar bears sitting on these icebergs, I have not seen any polar bear there, yeah? They have then to swim. So I mean, I saw one polar bear, and that was the prepared one in the museum. So, but I was equipped against polar bears. I had such rockets, you know, such rockets which you are using on ships. You know that because they are very loud, yeah. And bears don't like noise, and then they are hopefully jumping away. But I had some other guests, and these guests were very, very nervy, and you have millions or billions of them in South Greenland, and these are mosquitoes. And these mosquitoes are of this size, and they are biting through the jeans. So, and I mean, I was there, I mean, we were a whole expedition group, and we stayed in tents, yeah, I mean, these tents were wonderful, yeah, but you had then always to close them, yeah. And every morning when I just go out for a pee, then these fucking mosquitoes are arriving. So again, you have always to wear this mosquito net, yeah, that was just a net, yeah. So, and I mean, in South Greenland, it is not too hot. It is during summertime between 15 and 18 degrees Celsius. But when you are walking in the field and hammering and so on, then you are starting to sweater. And then the net is sticking on your skin, and the mosquitoes are sitting on top of it. So, next slide. So that is how it looks like. I mean, here you have the fjord, yeah. Then you have here some icebergs. Here you have the naked rocks. So, and that is, it is called Greenland. It is a little bit green, and I will also tell you today why it is called Greenland, yeah, or from whom this name came from. So, and here you can see that was our boat. You know, that is just such a rubber boat with an engine in the back. So next slide. So here is the rubber boat again with the engine in the back. So and here that is Sandra Piazzolo. She is now, I think, somewhere in UK. And that is Gregor Markel, and he is a professor at Tübingen in Germany. So and there we went just to another outcrop. And here in this outcrop they had fluorite. They had also some very, very strange minerals. There was a oosigite, the mineral is called oosigite, and it's actually from the chemical, from the mineral chemical formula, it is plagioclase, but a plagioclase with an OH group. And if you was hammering them, then they have changed the color, you know, and the plagioclase is white, and then you have hammered this oosigite, and then it changed to white, from white to pinkish to greenish to everything, but only for a short time. And there is a fluoride for exchange, yeah, or for change. And that was here. There was a small cave inside. Yeah, next slide. So, and these are these pegmatite veins. So, and they are quite huge. I mean, here I have my hammer, yeah, and my hammer, that is such this big S-thing, yeah. We have also one in the lab, and one is in my car, just if I had something to do with a policeman. So, and then you can see that these pegmatites are actually very huge, yeah. I mean, a half meter in diameter, and it forms huge crystals inside. And these crystals inside, I mean, these are, in this case, these are epivolts, but you have also some ogites inside. So, if you have ogites inside, that means that was not formed by the pegmatite, because the ogite is formed at higher temperatures than 600 degrees Celsius, and you will know by now that 600 degrees Celsius, we are starting with the pegmatites. Everything above 600 degrees Celsius, that is then magmatic or ageless. So next slide. So here we have another vein, and now you should be able to tell me what this for a rock is. It's very, very pinkish. Why is it pinkish? Feldspar, yeah. So a rich rock has a lot of feldspar and it's a light color. That's the granite. So in such a granite we have actually somewhere here. I mean this granite, I think it's not from South Greenland, but it looks very, very similar. And I can now not see it here in this sphere. And we have 3 pieces, yeah, 3 pieces because we are here 3 rows. So this is this stuff. So and then we have a vein inside, and that is probably that is something which very silica rich, I think so. So in this vein, if you're looking here at the cover from the camera, I mean this cover from the camera is maybe 5 centimeter in diameter, then this vein is maybe 15 centimeter wide. So when all these veins are cross-cutting then later, in a later phase, the whole intrusion, you can see them everywhere. Next slide. So and that is this crop which is called the Naujaite. Yeah, and the Naujaite, I mean it's very, very beautiful. I have still such a piece, yeah. So it's very, very coarse grained. That means it cools down fast or slowly. Slowly, yeah. So and then we have white minerals inside. We have red minerals inside, and then we have black minerals inside, and this red mineral, red minerals are very seldom. I mean the only red mineral you know by now from our set here, that is the almadine garnet, yeah. So but this red mineral, in this case, that is a oidialite or a udalite, yeah. So and that is also very, very special, this mineral, for this very silica undersaturated intrusions. And it has then such a mineral chemical formula because it is formed in a very, very late stage. And that means it is like a trash can. So that means every element which is not taken up by other crystal lattice or lattices is then sitting in this oidialite, or I'm writing it here because oidialite is German and I don't know how udalite or something like this. So in the black minerals here inside, that is amphibole, and this amphibole, that is the arvetsonite. And the white minerals, this is the plagioclase and some other fluid minerals, yeah, like the nepheline. So again, you have also some very, very late form fluid minerals which are formed at very, very low temperature in the magmatic stage. And that is, for example, analcime and such things. So next slide. So that is another colleague of mine from the expedition. That is just a corner from the ship, and that is an iceberg, and the green, the light green rocks behind. Next slide. So and what is this now? That is a Viking ship. So that is a Viking ship, and when I was there, I had a big luck to meet Vikings. So, but these were not Vikings like 1,000 years ago, you know, with the horns and everything. But the guy who came with the Viking ships, they came with 3 wooden boats and 8 plastic boats, and they made these wooden boats, you know, after original plans. And just to follow the route from Eric the Red, and that was 1,000 years ago. I mean, most of the people, they are thinking that Columbus had discovered America 500 years ago or something, yeah, 500 years ago. That is not really correct because Eric the Red was before there. So, and the Vikings, they were, or the Eric the Red, or it was not longer Eric the Red because it's 1,000 years ago. But the guy who came, or was the leader from this expedition, he said that he is a relative from Eric the Red. You can believe it or not, it does not matter. But they have reconstructed the whole route, but this time they had an icebreaker in front, yeah? Because I mean, 1,000 years ago they did not have icebreakers, and a lot of Viking ships then sank then, yeah? Because of the collision with the icebergs, yeah? Like Titanic, yeah? So, and now they had an icebreaker in front. I will show it in one of the next slides, and then they were following with these ships, with these replicas, and then they went at first to Greenland because archaeologists found out that the Vikings have been, before they went to Newfoundland, they were then in South Greenland because they found some remnants, you know, coins and such things, yeah. So, and that was 20 years ago when I met them there, and that was just from the, because it was now 1,000 years ago, so, and then they had rebuilt the village where Eric the Red and rebuilt and all these other guys and women lived. They had rebuilt it, and then it was a huge spectacle. The queen from, or not the queen, it was the queen. I don't know if Denmark has still a queen or not, or it was a princess. It does not matter. When they had then this celebration of thousands of years, of the 1,000th year, and then they had the next celebration in Newfoundland, because after South Greenland, the Vikings went to Newfoundland, and afterwards, I don't know. Because I met these guys then a couple of months later in New York City. Yeah? Because I went there to New York City to visit a girlfriend of mine. And then I saw these ships again in New York, and in New York City they have this. They have the Nature and Museum, and they had the biggest celebration. Yeah, it was actually very funny. So next slide. So that is me, just that is 20 years ago, yeah. Sitting there in the field, yeah, and it was quite fresh, yeah, and very, very cloudy, yeah. And if it starts to rain there, it is it is not good. I mean, here I hate it also, but here the rain is warm. There it is that it becomes really cold, yeah. And sometimes you cannot go out of your tent for a couple of days, yeah. So next slide. So here we have the icebergs in the downgoing sun, because I'm sure that it was the downgoing sun and not the rising sun, because when the sun rises up, then I'm usually still in the bed. So next slide. So yeah, that is how it looks like again. You have here everywhere the naked rocks, yeah, and for field work for a geologist that, or a mineralogist that is brilliant, here we have some great stuff. Yep. So yeah, here you can see again the boat, and that was the icebreaker, and the icebreaker went then in front, and the smaller and the Viking boats, they came then always afterwards. Next slide. Yeah, that is again, sorry for that it goes always forward and backward, yeah. Here you have such an agarine sun, and agarine, I mean, you know that is a pyroxene, it's a sodium iron 3 plus pyroxene, and it forms everywhere such suns, yeah. So in these single needles, you can see it because I have here the scale, they are quite long. I mean, this single needle is maybe a good 40 centimeter long, yeah, that is quite big for a single mineral. So and here you have again this unalite, and here a matrix consisting of plagioclase and nepheline and some other fluid minerals. Next slide. So there you can see the magmatic layering again. You can see it actually wonderful, yeah. So you have in a magmatic layering, you have then all these different layers, and I will show you in the week after our field trip how such a magmatic layering is produced. Because magmatic layering you can only observe in silica undersaturated rocks, and there is a reason for that. So next slide here, huge albezonite crystals, yeah, I remember, I mean they were maybe 1 meter, yeah, they were really huge. I have also one at home, maybe this size, I mean at home at my parents' place, because I cannot carry around always all the tons of rocks which I have collected through my whole life. And that is then also situated within such a pegmatite. So and if you are forming these huge crystals, I mean that is a good sign for creating an ore deposit, yeah, because it's crystallizing very, very slow, and then you have a lot of time to enrich certain minerals through all your hydrothermal stages. Next slide. So here again this nauyite with this nice pattern, and these 3 minerals which I have mentioned just before as well. Next slide. Yeah, that is again a sun from the downgoing sun. Here we have again the Viking boat. So here we have a new one. So and that is the way how they have rebuilt the houses from the Vikings. They have actually rebuilt the whole village, yeah. So and that was the house from Eric Grant 1,000 years ago. I mean, the original one is not there, but they have built it up using original plans or documentations. So and they are made up of soil. So that means they are just taking a shovel, yeah, and sticking out the soil, and then they are putting this soil together. I mean, this house and such walls, yeah. Yeah, maybe one can see it from here, yeah, that's the door, yeah. It has such walls, and it was completely built up of very tough soil. So they had here at first this pattern, that is actually the pattern of the fish bones, yeah. So and here they produced layering, and the whole thing was then covered by something like grass. So and that is container here, it has nothing to do with the old village, yeah, because the containers for the container boats were invited later. So next slide. That is again such an Egerin sun, yeah, and it looks amazing. I mean, if you are checking here we have the top from the camera. So again, you can see these needles are very, very huge, yeah. Next slide. So, and that is my most loved iceberg. And then we are done for today. Then I have something to say for tomorrow in the practical. I will also be here because I have to finish some microscopical work, so I will also sit inside. I needed the microscope with the camera, but it's still here. So tomorrow you will watch at first with the movies and with me, yeah? So and then we have, you give you further introduction what to do, and then you can do this by yourself, yeah? I mean, you have just to let him know when you would like to watch the movies, or he can actually just put it on his computer, and you can load it up then later on the Moodle, and then you can watch it. But you should just use the projector, putting this movie here on the whiteboard. Yeah, please on the whiteboard, not on that screen. And then you can make an XY diagram around your volcanoes, and then you can compare the height of with the diameter. Yeah? Some of them were smiling much better, some of them were a little bit quiet. Yeah? And for those who has been a little bit quiet, then just think about what I told you on this Saturday, yeah? Increase the pressure a little bit. You are putting a cork inside, yeah? Maybe you can go then with them, or make a date with them and your friend as well, because you were not here. Yeah? So, and some other stuff, I mean, I don't know what is left from the chemicals.
Yeah, you can put on the engine.
Yes. So maybe they can do some of them again if they like, yeah? So, and then for those, or then for the other experiment with the tsunami, for those which have used this piece of wood or timber like a feeder, yeah? Just make it a couple of times more and make the movie, yeah? So and then change maybe some angles and so on, and for those who make the tsunami using the flag in the ground, then you have to stabilize, or you have to make this timber, you have to make it stronger. You know, they are putting just this glass inside, yeah? This glass, and then you have to tighten it up a little bit better around, you know, at the corner that the water is not sucking down or up and down, yeah? So, and I mean, these experiments you can do whenever you have time, yeah? So, and here we will then show you tomorrow shortly what to do with these movies, and then you can then just continue on your own. And then on Friday, we are going then at first to, we have some stops on the way to Nandi, yeah? Then I'm staying in the Tanoa and you will stay in the village. And on Saturday we are going then to the Koda gold mine. And on the way back we will take the water sample. Yeah, please don't forget this container from this so-called healing water. What? No, the Hebrew border is somewhere in the north. Yes. So and then we are coming in the evening. We are coming back, I think, to Suva, yeah. And on Monday morning we will then leave to Vanuatu. So again, it's very early in the morning. That's about 4:30 in the morning, is it? Yeah. So and we will meet us at the Costumoa, yeah. Okay, that's then all.